right, and I guess we'll finish off with the 7 habits of highly miserable people. Woo! Many of you are probably constantly going through your lives thinking about one of the most time-long questions of how to be happy. Everyone has always asked, what is the way to be happy? How can I achieve happiness in my life? And you're probably overwhelmed by the books, the audio tapes, the videos, the motivational speeches. Everyone has their own take on what it takes to be happy, and it's really confusing what that actually would entail, of what it would take to be happy. So I've devised a way to determine a much easier task, which is how to be miserable. So my fellow Toastmasters, I am David Belkin, and I will be starting the lecture of your course tonight of the 7 habits of highly miserable people. Being a social creature is really, really difficult and tedious. So why bother? Which leads me to my first principle. Stay still. Go inside your house, isolate yourself, stay indoors as much as possible, preferably in the same room or a basement. And don't you dare get tempted by a beautiful day or an invitation by a friend. No, stay isolated in your room and refrain from all rewards of physical activity. Principle 2, embrace entitlement. You need to realize that you are a gift, and you should expect unwavering respect, attention, and subservience. Responsibility, patience, and compromise are only relevant to other people. You need to foster the idea that not only are you a gift, but you're actually doing the world by just being here. And if people who disagree are either in denial or just weren't informed. In these particular circumstances, it's important that you inform them of your importance. Principle number 3, it's always personal. When interacting with people, malicious intent can always be found if you just look carefully enough for it, especially when it comes to your friends and family. Your spouse forget to call you today? View this as conclusive evidence that you don't matter to them and probably never have. Your coworker get the promotion instead of you? It's important that you view your boss as viciously spiteful and yourself as just an overall loser. And remember, if you don't take things personally, no one else is going to do it for you. Principle 4, focus on problems. What's the point of having problems if you don't focus on them? Make sure you take catalog of all of your problems and constantly review them. Remember, when it comes to problems, there's only 2 times that actually matter: the past and the future. You have to focus on your past problems, your past failures, your past errors, all of these things. And of course, then you have time to focus on all the future problems and all the future failures that you're going to have. If you have trouble viewing the future, I recommend the what if game. You have to always ask yourself, what if this? Imagine, like for example, Maggie, the what if game would have come very, very much in handy in her predicament. Principle 5. Do things only when you feel like it. If I know that life is full of tedious small tasks that constantly bombard you. What's the meaning behind it? It can feel like the weight of the world is crushing on your shoulders. So it's important that you can just throw all of it aside. Remember, if you wait for the motivation to come get to you, then you'll be ready to do the task at hand. Bills, kids, family, work. The more that you just throw it to the side, the more that you'll feel the weight from your shoulders slowly, slowly lifting from your shoulders. Principle 6, compare yourself to others. Realize that in trying to achieve your goals, that there are people that have done it a lot harder, had much tougher circumstances, that are more successful to you in every aspect and beat the odds in every aspect. But instead of using this as a tool to motivate you to achieve your goals, you need to use social media as a great tool to find out where you went wrong. And on the days that you feel particularly good about yourself and need some perspective, I highly recommend going outside and finding a billboard like the next Zooey Deschanel perfume, and you should take a look at these people that look so much better than you in those expensive clothes you can't afford. Make sure you look at the features and then look at yourself and ponder on the differences. And principle 7, say no thank you to gratitude. All this effort that you've put to for misery is going to go down the toilet if you start dabbling in gratitude. You need to throw away all the good that's happened in your life and start pondering on all the ways that life continually disappoints you. And that's really all there is to it. You know, if you follow this 7-step method, then you too can trigger your next nihilistic existential crisis. And be sure to join me next week when I teach you the several ways to lose friends and alienate people. Thank you.